Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash, Brent, Commander, all in the Atzenoffer studio this morning, live. Glad you're all here. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, everybody. Mark Kurtz, Ricky King, and Scott Tomko on the podium this morning on this foggy, soggy Monday morning. Got a little rain yesterday. Got quite a bit of rain.
Got a lot of rain yesterday. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Feed. See, I don't have that Cody, that little button that he uses when he turns the music off. He just keeps mumbling over here on a Monday morning. Oh, a lot of rain yesterday. 68 degrees under cloudy skies in Victoria, Texas. You shaking your keys now? You're distracted.
He's offended and leaving.
Moved him over.
I'm an artist.
They're in the way.
68 degrees under cloudy skies in Victoria, Texas, heading to a high today of 83. It's going to be cloudy all day, sir. Tomorrow expected to be Tuesday supposed to be windy, and Wednesday supposed to be 70% chance of rain all day long.
All we did was daylight savings time. We didn't jump a whole day.
I do very greatly appreciate the powers that be that determine when our clock works. I'd rather it get dark late. I don't mind coming downtown in the dark. I like for it to be daylight until 8 o'clock. That's nice. Seems odd that you work all day, those of you that do, and that then you get home at 5 and at 5:30 it's dark. Now, I realize the days get longer. I get that anyway, that there's more sunlight as the summer comes along, more hours of sunlight. But I like having the time after work to mow the lawn and do the stuff that needs to be done.
Or you could just retire and you'd have all day.
Or make your kids do it.
I'm not sure that retiring would give me any break whatsoever. I'm convinced that retiring would just put more, with 5 kids between Dawn and me, it would be like, well, Dad, you're not doing nothing. Can you come over and watch the baby for 3 days? The answer would obviously be yes. But, hey, Dad, you're not doing nothing. Can you come help me landscape in Houston?
No.
Yeah, I mean, ask Torrin Bales about that.
Torrin's labor.
Constantly on the road doing something for a kid, which is great. It's just, he works harder than I do.
Bobby Leister checking in, Marvin Mickish, Randy Langston, Lisa Poole, Linda Christ, Greg Garcia, Rena Scherer, good morning, Patrick Strauss.
I need to ask, and I think Jackie Parsons is the right person to ask. So when you buy the 21-7-14 blend at Deerland Feed, which is not it's just the right blend for this soil. It's not, we've touted it as like this miracle cure for life.
It is, though.
It is, and you can't just find it at every store. But 21-7-14, it's an American plant food product. Deerland's carried it for years. It is the correct fertilizer mixture for the majority of our typical soil. And you put it down Easter, and you put it down July 4th, Memorial Day in May, July 4th in July. And then typically, sometimes that falls on a Saturday, and Labor Day in September. And that's it. We're not talking about weed and feed. We're talking about such healthy grass that weeds don't grow.
How do you put it down?
Just with a broadcast spreader, you know, the one with the wheels. Yeah, one of those will work.
Drop spreader. Yep.
I'm going to drop a name here. I use one that's made by Scott's. I think I set it on about 4, and I just spread it. But I'm wondering if now isn't about the right time to put it down because it's unseasonably warm. I should have asked Matt Boucher that while he was here.
Stick to the schedule.
I know that won't hurt anything. But yes, you're correct. I think that's what we'll do. We'll stick to the schedule.
Andrew Alvarez, good morning. Sherry Jacobs, Tammy Keeling, Heather Stewart, Vance Riley.
Vance Riley, hats off to you, sir. You did not win, but you are not a loser. Hats off to you for putting your extremely experienced hat into the ring. And thank you, sir, for being the consummate gentleman and we consider a very good friend of this program. if you ever see anything of any import that you want to share with our audience, we would always welcome you back in studio. You're a fantastic guest, and you've become a very good friend through all of this, and I just find you to be a real asset to our community. So thank you for running for JP of Precinct 4.
Scott Snow checking in, Justin Glass, Bob Constantine, good morning.
Heather Stewart says, you don't feed cattle and horses. That's fair, ma'am. It is, and it is fair. I think that's why you had, right, daylight savings time, was so that folks didn't have to get up in the middle of the night to feed their animals. I would suggest that we train our animals to eat in the evenings. Doesn't work that way, Cody?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just made that up.
I feed our animals in the evening.
There you go.
Randy Langston says retiring.
Yeah,
In quotes.
exactly.
That's all it does. Tammy Williams checking in.
Hey, there's Benjamin Bennett. Good morning, buddy.
Scott Tompkins says, why don't they call it 312?
Because we're not busting down fractions here, you know? I mean, they could call it 41-14-28, but they don't, Scott, okay? It's 21-7-14. And I don't know why. It seems like most the first is nitrogen, I think. And I think that they usually, most fertilizers
That's
start
what
off,
greens up your lawn.
but most start off with 21. I don't know. You know, you'll see 21, 20, 18. I don't know. But it seems like most fertilizers start off with 21. And that is a great comment. Bob Constantine says, if you can't remember the name of the fertilizer, just tell him. He says the Brent Carter. I call it the Wade and Carter proprietary blend. And I promise you at Deerland Feed, they know.
Do you know how much it is for a bag for our listeners?
It's a huge bag, and I don't know, I think it's about $40. It's so much cheaper than having somebody come out and spot. Randy Langston says it goes in this order: nitrogen, phosphate, calcium. And I think that's probably right. I don't
Scott
know.
Tomko says, why do they call them cubes when they're cylinders? Talking about cattle cubes. That's a good question.
I don't know.
They probably weren't always that way.
Yeah. Randy Langston, chastising himself, says, dang it, I should know this.
Yeah. Except probably when the cattle cube company shipped all the dyes over to, or the molds over to China to be made. They
China.
cut corners.
How are things going in China these days?
Weird. Apparently, the Chinese have not flown a plane around Taiwan since
2 weeks.
last Saturday, since the outbreak of the war in Iran, which
The
Congress,
Iranian conflict.
which
Ash.
Congress won't call it a war.
It's not a war because Congress has not declared war. Much like they are illegal aliens because that's how the law reads. They're misappropriated migrants. No, they're not. They're illegal aliens. That's how the law reads. Only Congress can declare war. So it's not a war. It's the Iranian conflict.
Ukraine is just a conflict because I'm sure the Russian
We do not know
government
that.
did not declare war.
Did you
either.
see over the weekend where Russia began giving air surveillance to what the U.S. is doing in Iran? I saw such reports on multiple Reuters over multiple platforms that Russia has been advising Iran of where certain outposts are and where certain things are that the U.S. is involved in. Certainly will not probably go well with the Donald, but at the same time, touche. I mean, Russia certainly would love for Iran to be able to drag out this conflict. It's not popular. It's not good for the president. And this is something I mentioned to Ash earlier today. While Trump may not be much of a politician, he is, by anybody's account, a strategist. He has a plan for what he's doing. If intelligence reports did not show that whatever's going on in Iran was imminent, why, when you're promoting the midterms, when you're trying to get Republicans to stay in office, why would you upset everybody with higher fuel prices.
Gas prices up 48 cents a gallon from a week ago, according to the AAA national average at $3.48 a gallon now.
Why would you upset everybody with a never-ending war? Why would you do it? Trump, certainly no stranger to political strategy, would not do this, I'm convinced, if there wasn't military intel that told him this was important.
Well, and I think the strategy side is now's the time to do it because it's only primary season.
Maybe.
The
Is that like running a bond out in May for school?
Yeah, the midterm elections cycle isn't here yet. So politically, if this thing ends, Iran now says they can drag this thing out 6 months. They won't.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think so either.
Trump says unconditional surrender. Benjamin Bennett, a veteran, says he was duped by Israel. The U.S. won't win this. I don't see how, Benjamin. I mean, they've got no Navy. They've got no Air Force. I guess they could continue to do little terrorist things, but they've been doing that for 47 years. They've been doing little blow things up for 47 years. That's what I don't understand. I'm really confused, and this is never popular to say because so many of you just want to live and let live. The Muslim way of doing things does not coexist well with the United States Western values. When you have a country that shares a mantra that echoes death to America, when you're willing to walk into a restaurant and blow yourself up, when you have no problem killing people wholesale in the streets over a protest, don't whine to me about the religious right upsetting you with their thoughts and commitments. The Muslims are not pro-choice. The Muslims are not pro-2A. The Muslims are not going to broaden your freedoms. And yet, look no further than New York City, the most important, city in America, the oldest and greatest and largest country in the world, has its own continent, America. You can't say, oh, you're making a big deal about nothing when there's 100 and something mosques in Dallas. There's not that many Muslims in Dallas. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't think we're going to ever put troops in Iran. I don't. I think we'll just keep bombing them until they decide that they don't want to be bombed anymore. They did name the new guy, what's his name? I told you how to say it. Mashtada. No, not R.
Khomeini's son.
Yeah, which I think means next to die in Iranian speak. I don't know.
Yeah, our military central command is rebuking statements that Iran has struck the Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, that hasn't happened. No, it didn't happen. Yeah, I don't get it. You get these leftist idiots that, well, what happened in the past isn't an imminent. We live under a context of imminent threat from these terrorist-driven idiots. Whether it's them funding Hezbollah, whether it's them funding what happened on October 7th in Israel, whether it's them blowing up the World Trade Centers. Never forget, as we elect Mondami, mayor of New York, you soft, pasty, leftist idiots don't get it. There is a quest from the Islamic world for complete and total religious domination of the world. You think communism is bad. They only do it to benefit a few oligarchs. When you have an entire region of the world that's willing to die, eager to die in the name of Allah.
Well, they're not even all in the same name of Allah, because look at what Iran did after the U.S. attacked them on last Saturday. They went and attacked all their supposed Muslim brothers that they felt might have played a role in that. The UAE, Saudi Arabia. I mean, Israel's obviously not a Muslim brother, but they went after everybody they could.
Randy Langston says go up a little bit for him. Says our intelligence agencies created the Taliban and ISIS. How did that help anything? I agree. You go back, the United States absolutely empowered and did not monitor, for example, Osama bin Laden. He was our guy. He's a CIA guy. But just as power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, he found a bunch of religious zealot idiots that would follow him in the name of Allah, and the next thing you know, we've got terrorism.
Well, and
it is a religious war. I don't care if you're religious or not. You don't have to be religious. But they being the jihadists, are against Christianity, the American way of life, and Western culture. There's no getting around it. And Patrick Strauss points out they have a lot of uranium. They sure do. And they boasted about it in their meetings. Original intel showed, and again, if you're just trying to enrich uranium to the point that you can use it for nuclear power, you don't do that 300 feet underground in the mountains in a bunker.
Maybe you do if you're worried about the next Chernobyl.
That's right. Trump did completely disable that lab, but he did not kill all the scientists. And as a result,
I don't think he'd completely disable the lab either.
I think that lab is not functioning at this time. I mean, do you think they're just doing a little remodel down there? Maybe they're doing a little remodel.
I do. I don't think it had the effect that Trump thought or claimed it had, to be honest.
Can we go this far? Maybe it didn't have the effect that Trump was advised by intelligence sources. I don't think that Donald Trump just told you that, we just...
If it had the effect that he said it had and completely destroyed their ability to make nuclear weapons, we wouldn't be bombing them within a year.
Well, there you go.
Because they wouldn't have had the ability to make nuclear-grade uranium.
By anybody's account, it was a brilliant military action, but let's say it did not accomplish the planned result. Even more reason to be bombing them now.
Yeah.
There is no need ever to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. It is extremely naive to think they would absolutely not use it as soon as they could get one available. No doubt about it. They wouldn't use it to negotiate. They would use it to obliterate.
I don't know if they would.
Why would you think that people that were willing to go into a restaurant and blow themselves up, people that train people to go in and run airplanes into our buildings, why would you think, I don't think they would. Why wouldn't they use a nuclear
weapon? They'd be annihilated on the back end.
They're getting annihilated now. They've been annihilated for 3,000 years. That's what you don't get. You can't ascribe Western mores and Western ideas to these idiots in turbans over in the desert.
I'm not ascribing anything
You
to
absolutely are. I don't think they would. I don't think they'd do that. They would absolutely do that. Absolutely, they would deploy a nuclear weapon on Israel as quick as they could get it together. It is just absurd to go, just let them build one.
And they'd be destroyed in the process.
They don't care. They get 72 virgins for killing all the Jews. That's what nobody gets. Everything over there revolves around religion for these fools. Everything revolves around religion. Hence the fact that they pee and then pray for a while. Pee, pray for a while. Take over the streets in Paris, pray for a while. Take over the politics in England, pray for a while. Everything over there in their mindset is a religious jihad against the West and its way of life. Anybody who doesn't think that our country is under attack for at least the last 47 years by the Islamic extremists just doesn't look around. Finally, you got a president with the cods to go over there and do something about it. People are going, my gas prices are going up. No doubt about it.
They've claimed to have the ability to wipe Israel off the face of the earth and haven't done it yet.
I guess it's because they like them. Are you feeling bullied?
No.
Okay. Stupidity.
But I don't agree with your premise.
What was the
There's
premise?
I mean, politics plays a role in a lot of this, and I don't know that they would just launch a nuclear weapon into Israel.
Really? Because
really.
do you think they have any desire to be liked? Do you think they want to be an ally of anybody?
They probably don't have a desire to be wiped off the face of the earth either.
They're getting wiped off the face of the earth right now. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. Every day we're destroying more and more of their missile launch sites. I don't get it. Anybody, look, 894-4020. Call up. I won't say a word. I'll give you 3 minutes, unfettered. State your case. You disagree with what I'm telling Ash, who, by the way, is just making good radio because he's not stupid. 361-894-4020. Give us a call. I'll put you on the air. I won't say a word. 3 minutes. We have some prolific typers out there. I have a feeling they'd be stepping on their tongue if they had to actually speak to the 40,000 plus people that we have listening every morning. 39,957 of them who agree with what I'm saying.
Ben Bannock is right on this. That
Usually he is.
well, I mean, if you think a big bomb is going to have any effect on 14,000-foot mountains in Iran, you're crazy. And that's exactly it.
I'm not trying to nuke Iran.
No, but that's
If you can keep the rats scurrying around in the mountains, they won't be blowing up New York City. I have no problem with that. And every one of them that dies, that guy won't be doing anything else in the United States. I'm fine with that. Can you imagine in this country if you walked around with a T-shirt on that said "Death to Iran"? Why would anybody do that? If they leave us alone, I couldn't care less what they do. But they won't. They won't leave us alone. Benjamin, I don't know if we have time for that this morning.
361-894-4020.
I don't know, Benjamin. Be
just
very
said if
careful.
anyone calls.
Be very careful.
You just challenged anyone to call. You can't now not let them call.
Oh, I want him to call. Yeah. He can call. Let's take a break while he calls.
Yep.
Folks, Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. You can go there. They don't care who you worship. But I'll tell you what, your dollars go to support 7 different local charities, one of them being the Catholics, who will welcome you in and take your money. Palace Bingo, a great place for families to go, a fun, fun time. USA Concrete Coatings, sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it. I'm just biting my tongue because it's just not worth it. USA Concrete
Level
Coatings.
it, seal it,
578
they can do it all.
Home, 578 Home. Veracruz Restaurant, Monday, get in. New week, same menu, great food.
Great Mexican food.
It's
the best in town.
Fresh hot sauce, homemade chips, homemade tortillas.
2 days away from Caldo Wednesday, too.
Allen's Record Service, 578-6300. 578-6300. Let Allen be your go-to Totu. You'll love it. Yep.
Nobody's calling.
No, Ben sent me a message. Who said, it's not like I don't know Ben. I'll tell him. All right, I'll give Ben the number. Went Services, Went for all your electrical needs. Here you go. Let's just. All right, I'm going to tell Ben he's got 3 minutes. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Hey, good luck. By the way, I'm not making any assumptions that we're in total disagreement or total agreement or some semblance thereof. The clock starts now. Pontificate.
Okay, I'm not going to go with left versus right, politics aside. These are the facts. Iran is a fortress. We cannot invade Iran with ground troops in any way, shape, or form unless we take a port. And the reason we invade Iraq is because we had the GCC on our side. That includes Qatar, UAE, Bahrain. I flew into all of those places before we deployed. months to stand up and deploy a battalion. You have to get all their assets on a rail and then ship it over, and they need somewhere to land. That does not exist in this scenario. We have no option to invade. We have no option to do anything but we're doing. And plus, there's a 14,000-foot plus the western border that sits between them and the Strait of Hormuz. It is causing such global disruption. And okay, maybe we knocked out all of their major wars, have one of which was done at peacetime during a Sri Lankan invitation, and we killed them. We didn't even offer assistance. Guys, the Nazis offered assistance. This is so dangerous. Iran will win this and do about it because the GCC cannot support the military infrastructure required for us to take this state. This is not like Iraq. They are a rich country and they're twice the size. The Pentagon has confiscated every single one of the press corps. In Israel, if you look at non-mainstream anything media, or anybody caught filming the damage in Tel Aviv right now is getting put in jail for 5 years, no questions asked. This is dangerous. And the GCC is the government or the petrodollar that our economy is based off of has been propping up the U.S. economy through bond purchases. That $2 trillion investment, they're not going to do anymore. Or if they dump the bonds that they hold for the United States, our economy collapses. Japan, Thursday, $1.2 trillion quietly. They're dumping the bonds. But guys, I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything other than the facts. We cannot invade Iran. It is impossible. Scott Ritter has laid this out. He did the entire assessment of the initial invasion during the Gulf War. We cannot invade Iran. Period. End of story. And they have missiles that they haven't even touched yet. It doesn't matter what size bomb, even if it's the big one, we're still not out.
So,
Not to mention, Russia and Iran are giving them real-time satellite info. All of the THAAD missile systems that have been protecting the UAE right now, they're gone. They're gone. There's only 9 of them in the world, and 5 of them have been.
so we're visiting with my buddy Benjamin Bennick, great guy, United States military veteran, and a really smart gentleman, as you can tell. So, Benjamin, here's my question. Let's just, for sake of this discussion, let's assume that the U.S. Is a target of an organized Iran, and that they don't like us, and that if they had the weaponry, they would use it. Are you suggesting that because of logistics and money, we should just sit back and wait and just take it, or should we take the fight to them? You tell me.
Well, Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon because of the Ayatollah's fatwa. And what that is, because he's the highest religion in the land, nuclear weapons, because of the destruction, are against our religion. They've said over and over and over through the negotiations during Switzerland, which they wanted to come to the inspectors into the country, and it got denied. They negotiations. This is all because of Israel.
So do you trust Iran to keep their word and not develop a nuclear weapon, even though they boasted in their last negotiation that they could enrich it?
Because at this point, that's off the table. It's off the table. They accept. You guys be Muslims, okay? They believe in martyrdom as the quickest way to heaven. When I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, we didn't F about. Even in Iraq, when we had military superiority during Ramadan, we assassinated the leader of a 9 million population Muslim-ruled country, their top leader, holiest of monks. They are going to fight this until the United States gets completely kicked out of the GCC. And when that happens, the petrodollar is done for. The BRIC system is already set to replace it. Now, even further, silver.
I could definitely
Every time
see
it's-
that. Now, that is something I could definitely see. Yeah, I don't have any doubt that's plausible. I don't think, and this may be very short-sighted on my point, but I don't think you conduct military policy and all of that based solely on the possible ramifications of the dollar. I think you have to do what's right and wrong based on defending our shores. But I don't, you and I are close. I don't take any exception to what you're saying. I'm not saying that there's not more behind the curtain than what we're seeing. In fact, I'm certain that there's more behind the curtain than
Brent,
what we're
these are
seeing.
the facts, bud. These are the facts. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to pontificate. I'm not advocating for any These are the military facts. These are the military facts. And here we go. We're going to take a look at, so if the dollar, or if our $38 trillion debt is no longer propped up by countries like every single one of the families in the GCC. Bahrain's oil facilities just got bombed this morning. The king of Bahrain has fled. So they had going are off the table for all of the oil in the world.
So do you think
economies are at risk of collapsing right now?
Do you think the U.S., is it possible that the U.S. has figured out that BRIC is coming, that there's problems involved, and we better do something now to preserve our position at the table? Or is this like a last-ditch effort?
I'm not naming names, but our debt is privately owned as a country.
Right.
So if you take a look at gold, I'm going to tell you the facts on gold, right? Every single time that it's pumped, it's stopped, and then it's went another 20%. And then it's pumped and stopped and went. If you take a look at the silver right now, because the COMEX is running out of silver, every single time resistance breaks 85, it gets sold off and bought down. So whoever is pushing in the silver market, they're keeping it at $85.
It's that pesky Hunt family. It's those pesky Hunts. I guarantee it.
It's more than that, man. So if you see the price of silver skyrocket overnight with gold, China is in the process of making their own gold reserve system with a gold or 2,000 tons of gold in physical reserve. The petrodollar collapses, our economy has to go to something else. What's the only system in the world that could possibly replace the dollar overnight?
Gold.
AI. Digital. It's the only system that's even remotely close to possible. And that's the only system that will all end up, and it's going to be AI backed by silver and gold that's going to be owned by everybody but the average. Guys, this is bad.
Well, there you have it. Today's thanks, Benjamin. Today's doom and gloom moment brought to you by the best fisherman in Port O'Connor. Here's what I'll pass along. And it's very, very possible. Look, watch this. Watch this, listeners. Hey, man, I could be dead wrong. Maybe what I think of as chess, I may really be watching a checkers game when chess is really world debt, the BRIC, gold and silver markets. Maybe that's the chess. But the idea, at any rate, the idea that Trump just decided to go off willy-nilly and attack somebody is absurdity. And we know that. We know that's absurd.
I don't think it's so absurd. I don't think it was willy-nilly, but he could have been played by the intel folks.
Really?
Really?
Well, when it comes to
Iran
intel,
didn't care. They just named Ayatollah Khomeini's son as the next supreme leader. They did not care that Donald Trump said that would be a bad move. They don't care. What did it change? Nothing.
They want
We
to
went in a
die.
week ago, and what changed? We killed the Ayatollah. They get a new one, his son.
And we killed the Ayatollah, and then we killed his immediate successor. And then they went and found a former Ayatollah's son to make their supreme leader. This would be like Billy Graham died, Franklin is shot, so you go get Joel Osteen. That's what that would be like. Because Joel's dad used to be in the prayer tower. No, wait, what was that guy? That was Oral Roberts. Anyway.
I thought that was Jimmy Swaggart.
I have sinned. It's on video. Jimmy Swaggart. An amazing dude. Jimmy Swaggart was the
Mojtaba Khomeini was Ali's Khomeini's son.
the epitome of the American hypocrite. Like his preaching was so spot on and his life was so upside down. Man, talk about physician, heal thyself. He needed to spend some time with the Lord.
Iran's president, by the way, is now trying to de-escalate the conflict that country started with the countries around them.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
White Trash Services inviting you to come in. By the way, thank you, Benjamin Bennick, for that call. And please let it be known, uninterrupted, 3 minutes as promised, maybe 3.5. Great to have him come in. I take no exception. I did not dissect or refute or argue with his concepts. In fact, I learned something. We invite any of you that play Monday morning quarterback, especially on Mondays, to call us. I really encourage it. White Trash Services, if you're in the No Bull Network, Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzalez, Carnes, Atascosa, B, Frio, Jim Hogg, Victoria, call them. They're still well over 20 grand now.
550-1826. Give them a call today.
They are still, based on your 1, 2, or 3 year service agreement, giving giving $25, $50, and up to $100 to your local volunteer fire department.
New or existing customers, you
That's
lock
right.
in and they will pay. All you got to do is choose White Trash for fire department cash.
I believe
That's
it was 26,000 on Friday.
Wow.
Wow. They're going to
amazing.
push it over 30 grand this week. Chestic Furniture, Chestic and Love, make your house a home. Get in and see Bobby Leon and his team. They'll come out and help you design that room. They bring you furniture, appliances, and all the...
Accoutrement.
They are awesome. Super nice people. Paravita Wellness, get in and get healthy. They can help you with your gluten intake. There are no preservatives. Protein-based. You need to lower your carbohydrates. They can help.
Just really good food.
Really good food on top of that. And then Went Services. For all your electrical needs, you want a Generac generator? Went can help you. Is JP wanting to come in the studio? Come on. So you don't have to ask. It's your building.
Ben Bennick says we need to exit the region before it's too late. It's been too late, according to them, for 80 years over there.
But the problem I've got is if you exit the region, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop bombing you. I mean, that doesn't mean you're not going to embolden them. That doesn't mean that they're not going to say Allah is on our side, jihad forever. There's no reason to think that would make things any better. What might make it
I don't
better?
know. It might. They've been telling us to get out of there for years, and they'd leave us alone, but we haven't listened to them.
And you trust them, and that's why there's two of us here. John Paul Hull, good morning, brother.
Three of
Feel
us
free to grab
three
that
of us
mic
here.
and move it wherever
Yeah.
you want.
All right.
Cody's going to get up and work, or Ashley's going to go fix that camera. I'm subbing
I don't
that
need
out.
that camera on me. I
Are
can
you subbing
promise
that
you
out
that.
to the big man? Here he comes, lumbering down the street, moving the camera
What problems have y'all solved today?
with his feet. Man, I don't know. I think I'm learning, and I'm excited to learn. I've been very pro bomb Iran. I'm happy with it. I'm ecstatic about it. I don't like the fact that these people have somewhat held us hostage in our own country. Every time I fly, which is often, and I have to walk through a metal detector, I think about Iran and the fact that they've been the largest state-based promoter of terrorism in the world. They've affected our very lives.
No doubt.
I'm tired of them. But now people are like going, well, you can't win. It's a war you can't win. So what do you do?
They've all been wars we can't win. We haven't won a war since World War II.
It sounds like, be careful with that we. It sounds like you sit back and it's like.
What do you mean? Be careful.
Is
with
we
that
the
we?
Russian and
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know. If we had a little help from Canada, we might have beaten Iraq. What about what was the guy's name that ran for governor that made the Clayton Williams, good Aggie,
Yeah, he made a bad rape joke.
who blurted out, "Well, it's kind of like rape. If it's inevitable, we might as well just lay back and enjoy it." Well, is that what our foreign policy should be with Iran? Do you think you're going to negotiate with the extremist jihadists? They live for war.
Yeah, they talk about hate America all
Right.
the time.
I mean,
I think they'll get. I think Trump will get in and get out. I don't think.
I
I don't
do
think it's
too.
going to be a long. I think it'll be a couple.
I don't
weeks.
either, but I don't think the end is going to be what he wants it to be either. I don't think there's going to be a victory here. He's not going to wipe Iran off the face of the earth.
Well, I agree with you, Ash. Now that they've got the sun coming
They
in,
don't care.
so
so just kill him.
The
real
next
quick.
one comes. That doesn't matter. The next one comes.
they already
great.
said he's got a bullseye on him.
But that guy won't cause any more problems. That's the point. That's the great thing
It's
about
not going to be worse. That's for
yeah,
sure.
that's the great thing about capital punishment. It may not be
Well,
a
except
deterrent.
he's only 50. He could live for another 40 years. The other one was 85.
It may be like they say capital punishment isn't a deterrent. It is for that guy in the electric chair. It's a deterrent for him. Patrick Strauss says, "I wish Ben would have given us his sources. He made it sound like he's sitting in on the briefings." Patrick, I'll just tell you from experience, he is. He's just deeply connected to our military and knows the folks that he's talking about. He does quite well. Sir, how are you? By the way, I want to thank you publicly. We've done it many times privately and without you here, but thank you for providing this wonderful space to us. The offices at 205 are fantastic. The way that you and James Geets, I'm certain, with some consulting from Torrin Bales, because that would just be prudent.
Well, I had a beef to pick with you because you mentioned that Torrin did the GSM building and
Yes.
I did that and sold it to Torrin.
That's
So,
right. And
I
I
wanna-
remember
I
that
just
out of
want-
benevolence you
So
sold
that's what
it.
got you up so early this morning?
No.
And you
I had to
sold
deal
it
with
at a
kids this
loss,
morning.
if I remember right. You sold it at a
Just
loss
to correct
to your
the
friend.
record.
I don't think I
Kissed his ring and
Right.
sold it at a loss. Yes.
You guys have your initials embroidered on your sleeve. That's pretty sharp right there.
JP's, he's a baller.
Well, I need people to know. I don't want to introduce myself, so you can just see that.
he's not messing
Then,
around.
then it's like I don't
His
have to
wife
wear-
has a cricket.
His name is 3 letters.
It's
now.
on his shorts too, on his boxer briefs, right there on
So
the
she
left thigh.
remembers.
So you can remember exactly that it's
Which
your
leg goes
gear.
in which way?
How's
The flap was in the front.
How's your family? I saw your wife had her birthday the other day. I know she's excited about voting in her first election.
I don't think it's reverse voting, but no, she's super smart. She worked in D.C. for a while, and she's very educated politically.
She doesn't talk to you, does she? She's just
No,
like,
she doesn't.
stop, JP.
No, all's good. Thank you for asking.
No,
Tell me what's going on. What
Well,
else
we're-
is going?
we are
I haven't read the
concerned-
news today, so I don't know if.
we're concerned about this war. We were concerned a little bit. Your guy, Mondami, that
The
guy.
New York mayor.
Yeah, that guy. He first came out, and when he condemned, there were some people threw some IEDs into a crowd of anti-ISIS protesters. And Mamdani came out and just said that this was all the result of white supremacists, and that's why that basically white people suck, and that's why there's problems in New York is because of white people. And then it finally fettered on out that there were actually people that yelled Allah Akbar and all that, and that the people that threw the IEDs, which did not work, first clue, were actually Muslim extremists who were against the anti-ISIS people. So the bombs did not explode. I think there were 2 devices thrown, and they were made to explode and have shrapnel fly everywhere to kill people.
But nobody got hurt.
No, nobody got hurt this time. That's what goes on in Mamdani's New York, besides the trash not being picked up. And him talking about now, if you make over $150,000 a year, he's going to have to tax you to pay for all of his free stuff. Can you imagine making 150,000?
18 and 19 years old, the two guys arrested in connection with the
They should be
IED
shot.
events outside the
And that was in New
governor
York?
or the mayor's
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
They should be shot. Why would you?
And I will say this though, coming over here, dealing with kids, and then coming over here, it is dark and foggy and rainy.
Right.
Is this what is?
Is this what we voted for?
I can't stand daylight savings time
So
or
you-
whatever. What's the?
You don't like it like it is now.
Yeah, I like the other way.
See, there you go. And I was just as adamant the other way.
You like this way?
Yeah, I like it staying daylight till 8 o'clock at night. We can practice baseball. We can mow the yard after work. There's lots of things. Dawn and I can go for a walk and it's not dark. I have to wrap her up in reflective tape. I don't want her getting hit by a car. Can you imagine? That'd be my luck.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Put her on the sidewalk.
That's what I wonder. Ash,
Don't walk her down the
put
middle
her
of
on
the
a leash.
Don't walk
Put
her
her
down-
on a leash.
Don't walk her down the middle of the street.
Officer, I thought I had her under control. She bolted into traffic. Unbelievable. Ash is he's got this panaceic view of it. You're just solving
No,
all the
there's-
problems at my emotional expense today.
Hey, since you always bring up
Yes,
A&M losses, Texas had a big loss yesterday.
In what?
Basketball, men's basketball.
Who'd they lose to?
OU.
Yeah, our men's team, by the way, tip of the cap. I do this often, and I know that you don't selectively not hear it. Hats off to the Aggies. Their coach came in, last guy hired, no chance to do any recruiting. Nobody, I mean, it's almost as if I said nobody on the team over 6 foot. And they reeled off over 20 wins, and they had a good initial campaign for him. Texas, under their first-year head coach, didn't fare so well.
I like that guy though. He's
I
good.
like him too. I
He's
like them
good.
both. I like
Yep.
your new coach and our new
Yep.
coach. I also like the fact that our women beat South Carolina in the SEC to win the SEC.
I don't watch. I
tournament.
watch a ton of men's basketball, but not a ton of women's basketball.
I only watch the one where Texas is doing good. You know what I mean? Like golf, I'll watch a little golf. If we're winning, yeah.
I know you hate OU, but
I can't help it.
They had the dirtiest in the last 30 seconds alley-oop reverse dunk.
Oh,
I've
they
seen
just
the game.
railed
I
us.
was like, my God. No, it went to overtime, and A&M's,
did
A&M's game went to triple overtime.
Did they win? They beat LSU.
A&M won. Yep.
We got beat earlier in the week by Arkansas by about, pick a number, 25. And at the end of the game, this guy had a steal and a breakaway. And as he's running down the court, he just kind of turned his back and just threw the ball up off the backboard. And this guy came in
I
from
saw it,
behind
yeah,
and
on
just rocked it. It was just adding humiliation.
But I
to
text
defeat.
you, Florida's good.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
you
they're
did.
5, but they're gonna be.
They're
I bet.
good.
I bet they'll be in the finals. They're legit good. They're big dudes.
Yeah. Patrick Strauss, who is an Aggie, says the Aggie basketball team is not that good. And you're correct. They're both Texas and A&M are maybe 2 years away from really competing, depending on portal money. And I'm going to get with Ash on that in a minute. Texas baseball is off the chain. They're doing really, really well. In fact, I think they're undefeated.
I
know
think
they were.
A&M's might be right in that same.
They're not. They're top 25 for sure. The Aggies
It's
are.
still early, non-conference schedules.
What do you make and
Way to rain on our parade, Ash.
I'm just saying.
what do you make of the Charlie Baker comments and do you find it odd that the president has time in the middle of a global conflict to get involved in NCAA sports, NIL, and the portal?
Well, I mean, lots can go on, and one doesn't consume the other. But I
If
just
you don't eat ice cream all day and
no,
sleep,
exactly. You're not Joe Biden, and fall off bikes, and nap all day. I just think that it's funny that that the NCAA is now looking to Congress to fix the problems that they told Congress to stay out of 20 years ago.
well, does that just show that the NCAA isn't really capable of managing
no, it's exactly
anything?
what it shows. They don't have a clue
They're bozos.
about how
I
to
mean,
get through what they're try to fix what they're trying to fix, which is basically, what do they say? They're trying to save college athletics now, was the phrase coming out of that meeting with all the NCAA folks. Nick Saban was there, a few others, the president. A meeting that was supposed to last an hour took about 2.
Because Nick Saban didn't say it was over for 2 hours. one of the few men who totally trumps Trump. Nick Saban, though, one of the reasons that you're probably having that meeting, because he knew way back when he was smart enough to get out of Alabama because he knew they couldn't compete.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
that.
because
He's-
now it was a level playing field.
And he couldn't handle
and
that.
so now it's like, well, now everybody has NIL money. So what are you going to do?
and one of them said to get rid of the collectives, which a lot of schools, that was the saving grace. That was 3-4 years ago when these collectives started popping up. That was the great equalizer for smaller colleges to compete with the NIL and the $6 million you're giving Arch Manning.
But then
now
the
they want
Aggies
to get
turned
rid
around
of the
and had like a
collectives.
$4 billion collective. I mean, they just had the. And here's the problem with the collective. The
because they-
collective is pay for play. I can, at my decision as a coach or as a board of a collective, decide, let's give JP an extra $1 million. He had a great season. That is pay for play. That is not name, image, and likeness. That is not something of somebody coming and wanting you to advertise for them. That's just me saying, hey, Marcel Reed, don't leave us for that job at South Carolina for $5 million. Here's $2 million, stay with us. And it comes out of the collective, and that is going to really skew because the haves and have-nots. How's Jackson State ever going to compete with even TCU? You can't do it.
No way. And I know people are probably mad that we're talking sports, but I think Trump even mentioned the $40 million for LSU with Lane
Right.
Kiffin, and it was like, this is out of control. And
I laughed last week. I saw a meme, a graphic that said Lane Kiffin expressed that he really enjoyed his 3 months at LSU, but he's leaving to go be the new Ayatollah. He's going to go be the supreme leader of
that's
Iran.
funny, right?
But here's the problem. The presidents now want Congress to fix this, yet they have not had the guts to say, okay, you know what? We're not going to pay our next football coach $12 million a year, $15 million a year. We're not going to give this guy a $60 million buyout if he happens to screw it up. And
It's always interesting to me that these state schools, Texas and A&M included, where these guys are literally, they pay into TRS or whatever, they're state employees. How can you just, and I get it, supply and demand. If you want Mac Brown, you got to pay for Mac Brown. If you want,
that's not just the state schools. USC is doing the same thing. I mean, it's not just state schools.
but they can do whatever they want, right? I mean, they're just a private school, but I don't see how you, except that football is king. I don't see how you get by in the state of Texas giving a coach $10 million and bonuses for coaching football. What do you think, JP?
I don't know. I agree. I mean, I think that's a tough game to play. I mean, there was a ton of people that argued that Jimbo Fisher shouldn't have gotten paid out what he got paid out.
But you guys
It's in
passed
the
the plate.
contract.
Y'all passed the plate at one ball game and got that $76 million.
They just go, hey, we got to be great, and this is good. We need to be great.
Right.
And
I agree.
So you go, God, but that's a heavy price tag to do that.
Yeah, but the other issue, school presidents, they keep chasing that dollar. They keep chasing. I mean, you look at some of the schools that have gone Division I, and yeah, okay, Queens University out in Charlotte, North Carolina, just won the American Sun, so they're going to the basketball tournament for the first year they're eligible.
And they've got
But-
a real good chance
Yeah.
of running the table.
Yeah, not at all. But that's my point. They've lost sight of what athletics adds and the value it brings to a campus. And now everybody thinks that NIL is going to save the day, and now they're going to try to go Division II instead of NAIA, or Division III instead of Division, or it's Division II instead of Division III, or Division II schools moving up to Division I. They've completely skewed everything because they're chasing the almighty dollar. And they haven't followed. You look at the mess in California with the state schools that have dropped programs, been sued to bring them back, and scrambling to try to figure out how to balance their budgets. It's a mess. And the NCAA can't fix it, and they don't want to fix it.
They
were
just want
afraid
to
of
keep
Congress.
getting their cut.
Now they want Congress to fix it.
Well, they want to be able to blame Congress. They don't want to. They don't want to say we took away your ability to spend money. They want to
be able to.
Congress.
Yeah, they want to point the finger at Congress and go, "Well, no, Congress won't allow it, so you can't play 7 years."
Can I change y'all off of sports for a second?
Sure, please.
So election was
Last
week.
Tuesday.
Ives won,
Yes, sir.
And that's over. So
That's
he's
over.
JP. I appreciate how much he mentioned my name when he was here. He mentioned JP a bunch.
He did.
So,
He said, I'm running for JP. We often say we're running from JP, but yes, I understand.
when does the school bond?
May.
And that's a one and done too, right?
Either it passes or it doesn't, as I understand. Is that right?
Yep.
With our luck, there'll be a runoff. Yeah, no, I think yes. I think it does. One and done. I think they want $238 million. They've got some very specific plans. They're available at visd.net
.net.
or edu, whatever it is.
Interesting.
Monty Howard asked, "Can the NCAA put the genie back in the bottle?"
I don't
it's
think
too
so.
far
I don't
gone.
think
It's
so
too
either.
far gone.
I think the only way they could do it is to put a salary cap in it somehow.
Well, it does seem absurd to me. Oh, by the way, Tommy Kingston, thank you. This is John Paul Hull. For me, lifelong. Well, for him, I'm a lifelong friend. I've known him all of his life.
Is he questioning?
He just asked who that,
Who's-
as
who's
if
that knucklehead?
international superstar J.P. Hull, cameos in numerous Hangover movies, 1, 2, and 3. You may have seen J.P. jump out of the trunk. He was a stunt double for the Asian doctor. I had a complete brain lapse. You were talking about the bond.
Yep.
So one thing they're doing a great job of is they're telling you exactly what they're going to spend the money on, and this is purely what I call and I could be wrong. I call it an M&O bond, maintenance. It's about upgrading roofs and ACs and all that, not building sports facilities.
It's nothing fancy.
Building some new schools.
Yeah, they're gonna tear down O'Connor, for
Yep.
example, and move those kids over to Torres. They're gonna tear down Shields. They're gonna move the kids from Smith over to what we used to call the new building at Victoria High. So they're gonna do some renovation in that building. Of course, that building is not suitable for elementary school kids. I mean, the bathrooms are wrong. Everything's wrong.
Now remind me where you went to elementary
I
school
went
here.
to Smith, and then I went to Howell.
So you're good with them tearing that down.
I'm not even sure they're going to tear it down. I just know they're going to move the kids
Eventually,
out of there.
probably.
Yeah, I have no
I'd
problem
be
with
good
that.
with them tearing down Crane for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause that's where I went, junior high.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But
it was terrible in 1984.
Is it Shields that's right there by Dairy Treat?
Yes.
See, they could tear that down. That's an entire city, a big city
That's
block.
a big block.
That's a valuable piece of
Yeah.
dirt. They should tear that down, sell it. I don't care what they sell it for, and put all that money into the facilities.
And my
I don't
grandparents
think you're going to
learned
get all that money for that piece of land.
my grandparents learned to cook and make ice cream from that Dairy Treat.
Is that
from,
right?
From Bryan College Station, and they were candy salesmen up north there.
Is that right?
And so I always loved that location. And
We love Dairy Treat.
yeah, good people.
Jennifer Rayburn says Shields will tear down and rebuild on the other half. Okay. You're probably right, Ash, but I would think, JP, you're the real estate guy. I got a spot right there at the corner of Crestwood and Laurent.
That's Crane.
No, Shields, right across the street from Dairy Treat. Laurent, Crestwood. Crane's on
Airline, and now and actually I don't think is it. Oh yeah. Is it
So
Crane
would
or is it
you,
De Leon?
what is that? How valuable, if so, is
That's
that?
a big chunk of property.
Yeah, can you imagine multifamily there? I mean,
It's big. I mean, we've had
probably 3 acres
two
there.
properties sold down here in the last week that were parking lots. Yeah, I mean,
What would you think that piece of property? I mean, just get high side. Make us all feel bad.
$5 million. I don't know.
You've got the former Dick's lot right at Caddy Corner. That's still.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. You want to talk about building something that makes a difference? Somebody goes in there and builds a multifamily complex with 150 apartments. You'd have a Dick's back on that corner the next month.
You're right. You would.
You'd have a Dick's back on that corner.
Hey, by the way, before you go, it's so foggy, so everybody be careful driving. But Alan's Wrecker Service, Alan Miller is one of the better people in this community.
No doubt about
and
it.
such a good person. And I can't even begin to tell the things he's done for me personally. So support him as much as you guys can. If you need to ship a car to Houston. If you need to do anything, call Alan Miller, and they're just
Absolutely.
some of the best people in the world.
Priced reasonably. With the fact that Alan has helped sponsor this program in our 10th year since the beginning, the lunacy that he has endured on our behalf just shows you what a great guy he is.
Absolutely.
Jennifer Rayburn, we're going to get you in studio. Brian
And
Small wants to.
it's beautiful downtown to hear the bells start going off because it's 8.
Lets us
and
know
you
it's 8 o'clock.
It's so pretty.
Brian Small wants to talk JUCO rowing. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We would love to have curling in the Victoria community.
And B Small makes me crack up.
B Small is a champion. What a great guy. Folks, hey, top of the hour, we love you. Hope you have a great day. Everybody be safe on the roads. Take an extra minute and watch out for those kids. They'll come out of the fog, and just be very careful. Hey, pray for our country. Pray for our leaders. And pray for discernment that these folks get it right. We only have one chance at this life. So
Amen.
God bless.
Bye,
Bye, folks.
folks.